A year ago today, guys, I was completely cooked in every aspect of life: money, women, and my physique. So, and obviously, there are other areas as well. I still had vices that I wasn't controlling. Uh, I still had friends that were holding me back. I had a lot of problems in my life that I hadn't really addressed and properly taken care of. So, this is how I changed my life completely in 1 year, literally like a 360-degree turnaround. Could not be further from what I was a year ago. It's actually pretty fucking crazy how fast this whole thing's turned around. And like, this is going to be more of a motivational video, not necessarily like body game and like fitness and getting lean. And there will be some of that in there too. But really, how do you change your life when it's like your life is just fucked? How do you fix that? How do you unfuck your life, right? What do you do? So let me kind of talk about where I was, and this might be a little bit of a longer video, I'm not sure, but I'll kind of give a backstory to how I got to where I was and why I was down so bad, and then what it took to sort of, I guess, fix that and build that up. So starting when I was, I guess we'll go back to when I was 20, which would have been 2020, 6 years ago. I was dating this girl. I played college tennis. It was an NAI school, nothing like too serious. We were decent, but I'm not playing D1 or anything. Uh, and my life was good. I was going to school. I was enjoying it. And the one problem I really had with myself was I was kind of a negative person, and I always managed to find the worst thing about the situation. And I kind of hated myself for it, but it was just something I was doing and I couldn't stop. So I always found the negative. And my girlfriend at the time was trying to be encouraging and trying to like sort of help me not be that way. But that's just the way my brain was operating. And my mental state was just terrible. So even in class, I was super negative about school. I got good grades, good enough, but I was always negative about just what was being taught and everything. I was negative about how I played tennis. Like, I just thought I was never good. And even like if I won a match, I would still be mad at myself, which is kind of crazy to think about. It's just a blessing to even like be able to step onto the court and play, period. Um, Especially for a college, but that's not how my mind worked back then. And then even the relationship, I was really negative and kind of like, I don't want to say abusive, but it could have been classified as that. Not physically, obviously, but like just mentally, like I was so draining on her. And I felt bad for a long time. And now it's more of just like a lesson that I've learned. But it's one of those things where because I was such a negative person and I look back, I'm like, wow, that really kind of started my whole, I guess, downward spiral. So a year later, it's 2021, and I remember very specifically, it was the Monday before Halloween, or maybe it was a Friday. I can't remember. It was either way. Halloween was less than a week away, and I had like this plan with my girlfriend. We were gonna go and do some fun shit on Halloween, and then we were gonna take a trip down to Houston. It's kind of what I'd planned for like our Thanksgiving break. So she called me and she's like, "Hey, we got to break up," and I was like, "The fuck?" I was like, "That's a good joke, you know." But she was like serious. She's like, "Yeah, I need a break from you at least." And now at the time, of course, I was like, "Oh, a break. She'll be back in a couple weeks. We'll be chilling." Because we'd had a break before, except I was the one that actually initiated it. So I was like, she'll come back in a little bit. But I didn't realize that with girls, when they say you're taking a break, it's cooked. It's over. It's done. Just go next. And so I didn't get that at the time. But, eventually I realized it and I was like super heartbroken and yada, yada, yada. Time goes on and I'm getting in worse shape. I'm actually not hitting the gym. I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm like binge eating. I'm drinking a lot. Um, I just really became a mega chud. And everything I was doing was I played so many video games at this time too, because I kind of had my own place off campus and I didn't have as much connection with our team and the guys. And so they'd be like, "Yo, come out and hang, let's do something." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, I'm good." And I just stay back and I play video games, I drink, and it was pretty sad, man. I'm not trying to be like a pity party, but looking back, it's like, holy shit, bro, like my life was so cooked and I made it that way. I did that to me. It wasn't like there was anybody telling me like, oh, you can't do this, you can't go to the gym, you have to drink. Like, no, this was me just coping, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was so emotionally just devastated. Guys, you got to go through one heartbreak. I'm telling you, you got to go through that first heartbreak, and then everything's different after that. Then you kind of start seeing things. You're like, oh shit, I got to get my shit together, because if I don't, I'm never going to be desirable enough for the women that I want. And sure, you can be desirable enough for women that you maybe don't want, but if you really want like a high quality woman, you have to be a high quality guy too. You don't just like be a low quality chud and then get like the amazing, beautiful wife. That's not how this works. This isn't like some Disney movie. So 2022 comes around, I graduate college, and then literally at that point, I don't know what's going on in my life. I'm finished school. I didn't have a plan. Moved back home with my parents, and I just became an extreme gamer. Like to the point where I was gaming religiously for 18 hours a day. It's like sad to say it out loud, but I was a super ultra degen. Had absolutely nothing going for me. I played a lot of Fortnite, and I started a Fortnite YouTube channel. I tried that for a little while. Made maybe like $1,000 total over like 6 months. It wasn't great. Uh, and it was just killing my soul. It's not my purpose. It just hurt. It was really just terrible. And still drinking a lot. And it's just like my physique was horrible. I was about 190. I'm 5'9". I was like 190 at the time. It's now 2023. I live in Phoenix, and I'm just so cooked. I'm on dating apps. I'm trying to get dates with girls. I'm thinking oh yeah, I'm in my prime. I'm gonna get lots of girls right now. This is great. Literally 17 matches in a whole year on Tinder in Phoenix, right next to ASU's campus. Like it was literally less than a mile away. Like we could see the frats from where we lived in the sororities. So I'm out here getting 17 matches. I go to the club. I'd be getting mogged by every single guy because I'm just like this fat, out of shape, like skinny fat guy. It is horrible. So there finally came a point where I was like, all right, I got to start getting into the gym, or else my life is going to be just horrible. So I had this job I was working. I was making literally $16.50 an hour, you guys. Like it was so bad. It was so bad. So I'm sitting here, I'm making this horrible money. I'm working outside in Arizona. It's hot as fuck. It's like 117 degrees out, and I was out building fences. And I'm just like, dude, I called one of my best friends, and I was like, bro, I gotta leave. I gotta quit this job. I kind of just got hit with it that day. I'll never forget this day, because this was like, it was where everything started to really change and kind of turn around. And I know I said this is kind of like a 1 year thing, but the backstory to this whole everything that kind of happened is really where you can kind of get a picture of what was going on in my life, and then kind of to where I got to now, and like the last year and how that changed. So when I quit my job, I started going to the gym pretty much right away. I had about a month to where I had time before I was going to leave. What I decided to do, because I was living with one of my other friends at the time, and I was like, dude, I'm going to move out. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to move back to Montana, and I'm going to live with my parents. And I'm literally going to start from the ground up and try something completely different. And so I ended up moving back to Montana, and that's where I live right now. And I decided I was going to try SMMA, like a social media marketing agency. So I actually bought a course, and I started doing SMMA, and lo and behold, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. My mind was still fucked up, and I was still kind of negative. Even 4 years down the road, this is now like 2024, 4 years down the road, I'm still pretty negative, and it didn't work because I just didn't try hard enough, and the blame is fully on me. And so, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But I also realized that that was something that I kind of thought was similar to the Fortnite career, where it was kind of like a little bit soulless, where I just really it wasn't my drive, my purpose. Um, so then I'm, at least now though, I'm steadily going to the gym. So I'm really starting to get into the gym, and I'm seeing a little bit of progress. And then all of a sudden, right before 2025 comes in, I get injured, and I tore a groin muscle when I was deadlifting. And there was a bunch of other my form was not good, but there was other reasons why that happened. So then all of a sudden I'm sidelined from the gym for like 4 months. And I had actually quit video games at this point when I was starting to get into the SMMA, mentorship business, whatever. But then I slumped back into video games again and I started playing more Fortnite. And so it was really bad. Right at the end of 2024, I was like, oh my God, how is this happening again? There's no way. And then I decided to just dig deep. I said, look, this 2025, I got to change something. I've just fucked around for so long and not come up with anything. I have no money. I live with my parents again. And the job that I tried, it just paid like shit. And my physique is still bad. And it got to the point where I wasn't eating hardly anything because I was literally, I guess you could say I was depressed. And I hate to say it, but I really was. I was depressed. And just because I knew that I wasn't doing what I could be doing, I wasn't living up to my full capabilities. And so I'm sitting there in my room, just like sad, not eating anything, playing Fortnite, probably eating like 800, it really might have been 800 calories a day. I ate like one meal a day for like 2 months. And I got down, I think I was like 140 pounds. And it was like really skinny fat. I looked horrible, no definition anywhere. And like I didn't really even have abs. It was just like I was so cooked. And something changed in me. Really, it was it was in the middle of January in 2025. And I said, literally, I just told myself, fuck you. You've got to be better than this. You were meant to be better than this. People are not meant to just sit here waiting to die. Like, that's literally what I was doing. It's what I felt like I was doing. So I said, fuck it. I'm getting back in the gym. I don't care what it takes. We're going to get this shit going. And so I locked in hard and I started going to the gym. And ever since then, I've been very consistent with the gym. So it's really been about a year and a half, 2 years in the gym now for me. And that was at the point where I figured out kind of like, okay, calorie deficit's how I'm going to, first of all, I got to like make sure I eating food again. And then I'm going to go into a sort of just really like fix my physique. So I think what I actually did is I gained some weight, then I cut down. And then after that, then I bulked a little bit more or whatever, ate in like I want to say not surplus, but just like a main gain. And then now I'm currently cutting down again. But uh, yeah, so that's when the gym really fixed itself, was early 2025. And it's been about 14 months since that happened, maybe closer to 15 months now. And the other thing that changed at that time was business. So again, this whole time I'd really been making no money. It was pretty depressing. And, I'll look on YouTube or, Instagram and I'll see all these people and they're making so much money. Their lifestyle looks so great, of course, and some of it's probably faked, but a lot of it is also real too. Like, I know there's people out there making racks. And like, I have a friend that I know from YouTube when I was playing Fortnite. He quit Fortnite too, and he's making like crazy amounts of money just with his YouTube channel. He's got over 1 million subscribers now, and I believe he sells a service. I think he's like a video editor or something like that. But he's a cool dude, and he started making a lot of money. So I was like, I know these people are real. It's not like it's all fake. I just have to find a way to start actually making cash. And the way I ended up getting into it was I had one of my old tennis coaches when I was in high school. He was actually really good at selling bugs. So he's like, dude, you got to get into selling bugs. And I was like, all right, I mean, I guess I should really get into bugs. And so I started getting into bugs, and at first it took 6 months to get a sale, and I didn't sell anything. I had a website up and nothing sold. Then I sold one, and then I started selling more and more. And fast forward about a year, it's really been about a year since then. It was in March of 2025. And since then, now I've had months where it was 12.7K was my best month so far. And that was just last month. So now we're doing 5 figures from literally a year ago. We were doing absolutely zero. And I think that whole thing, and I'll talk about dating in just a second, but the way the physique and the money kind of changed, those things were brought on by mindset, really. It took a lot of me believing in myself. And I'll be honest, once I saw the physique kind of coming together, that gave me a lot more confidence for business. And then I was able to kind of carry that through and now they kind of work together, and it's like really a good thing. It's beautiful actually how that kind of works together like that, and you just feel a lot better about yourself. But when I'm first getting into it, it's like a snowball effect, man. It's like the ball doesn't roll at first. You have to really push hard, get it up the hill. Once you get the snowball up to the top of the hill and then you roll it down the other side, then things start moving. You get motion and the momentum builds, and then all of a sudden you have this humongous, you know, I hate to use it again. It's just like the snowball analogy. The snowball is rolling at that point and you're good. And it takes a lot to get there. It's not easy. Mentally, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done was coming out of the slump where I was a super negative person and becoming a positive person. That took a fuck ton of like mental fortitude, really. And I just watched a lot of motivational like podcasts and videos and just like how people fix their mindset and change their mindset. And it really comes down to, honestly, for both these things, you have to be kind of fucking delusional, man. You can't just be saying, yeah, it might happen. I don't know. Who knows? It might happen. I might make money. I might get in shape. I don't know. You got to say, no, man, fuck it. I'm going to be the best at this. I'm going to be the best bug seller. I'm going to be having a six pack abs. I'm going to be getting a lean physique. I'm going to eat the right foods. I'm going to do the right inputs every day, and I'm going to get the output eventually. You're not going to see jack shit for results until your mind is right. You have to be right up here. I'm telling you guys. And a lot of people just say, oh, it's mental, because it damn well is mental. And the people that say that, they've been through it and they get it. And people that doubt that and say, oh, well, you just got to do this and this and this, it's like, no, you got to get your mind right first, man, because the mindset is where everything else stems from. So the money came and the physique came with a changed mindset. And that changed mindset, literally, guys, it did take about 3 years to get there. Because I was actively trying for about 3 years to fix it from like 2023 to now. It was a lot better at the end of last year too. Uh, but yeah, it really took a lot to get to that point to where I felt comfortable in my own skin, to where I felt like I could do just about anything. And the limiting beliefs that I set for myself got shattered. And they really got shattered, especially this year when I started making a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money, but just like a lot more money than I'd ever made before or really even seen before. Um, so yeah. And then, of course, dating will tie that in as well. Dating is not great where I live, but I still manage to do okay on apps. And I can go on usually 2 to 3 dates a week if I so choose. Um, but at the same time, I'm not really looking to, I guess, pursue something super serious right now. I don't know. Talking to girls gets a hell of a lot easier when you're in shape and you're feeling confident, and they can feel that too. But at the same time, I think my issue is I really want to get things going to where, business and fitness is just so far forward, it's not going to ever fail, and I can just have that always for me. So I'm more focused on that. But if you're looking to really get into dating seriously and you want to look for a partner, then having a good business and being fit is obviously like kind of like baseline requirements. Not necessarily even business, but just like having a good stream of money. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on dating right now. For me, it's just something I literally go on dates just to kind of like talk to girls and have a good time with girls, and kind of like just to honestly like even practice sometimes. But I'm just not really in a position where I'm looking to like wife someone up. You know what I mean? But before, when I would try and go on dates, I would just get ghosted or rejected, turned down. Girls would never even speak to me in public. That's been something new to me. Just like all these things, it's so different the way that you get treated by people. And I talk about that kind of in every video, but it's really the truth. You'll never see it or understand it until you get to that lean position where you're sub 15%, lower than that, even better. And then you really start to see the results. And it's just a crazy life, man. Like, life can be so good. You can have such highs and such lows. And if you can find somewhere that's closer to the highs and figure out how to stay there, that's where it all comes down to your mind. If you can get your mind right, I'm telling you, you get your money right, get your body right, and everything kind of follows suit. And then life is good, man. So if you guys are in a spot where you maybe were where I was really depressed, I was out of shape, and I had no money whatsoever, if you're in a position like that where shit feels like it's just going sideways and you're in a downward spin, just know there's hope. There's always a chance. You have to make the conscious decision yourself that you're going to change your life, because nobody else is going to come and say, hey, here, let me help you up. You don't get any of that shit, man. Like, people aren't going to go out of their way to help you. And nobody's going to go and say, oh, well, let me give you some free therapy so I can help your little mind out and get it out of the rut that it's in. No. Nobody gives a fuck, man. Nobody's going to come and help your mindset. That's up to you. So, guys, all I'm saying is, if you think you're down bad, it's not over. Just lock in hard for 6 months to a year. You can seriously change everything. And I literally went from 0 to 10K a month, more than 10K a month. I went from being super, well, almost obese, to then being skinny fat, to now being in shape. And then now I went from like getting maybe one date every 3 months to 2 to 3 a week. And it's just, life can be great, guys, but you have to put in the work. You have to do the inputs day in, day out, and you'll see the results. It's something you guys got to want from in here. It can't come from anybody else telling you to do it. I could tell you a million times to do it, and if you don't want it, you're not gonna go for it. So if you want help getting out of that spot, and maybe you think that I could potentially help pull you out of there, or you just need some extra motivation to get to a better spot, then book a call with me down below in the link. Let's talk about it. Let's see if I can help you out. And if we're a good fit to work together, then let's make it happen, man. But appreciate you guys' time. And seriously, just lock in 6 months to a year. I promise things will get better. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.